ordered. Sorry, guys. And Sinners joining us by video feed. And I'm going to give you guys some space to ask questions as well. There's three things I want to focus on. The first one is stage presence. The second one's going to be elements of worship leading. And also the third one will be making sure we use our worship leading in a practical sense as well. Okay. I'll give you guys a little bit of a story first of all. Back when COVID was on, I had to get up and preach once in front of the camera. And I asked my now mentor, Pastor David Dowry, who was the former pastor of Bridge Church, or Numa Church, big church. Quite a big church, multiple campuses, probably one of the biggest churches in Victoria. So he was the senior pastor of that. And I asked him, because he had spoken at our church, can you critique my preaching? Can you watch it online and critique it? So he did. And he gave me a call and he said, when you're ready, we'll have a Zoom session. I said, okay, let's organise a Zoom session. And I'm talking to him. And he said to me, the first thing he asked me was, well, how do you think you went? I was pretty proud of my preaching, actually. I just thought I've done a really good job. It's a great message. Pulled the scripture apart. It was very analytical. And I was pretty chuffed with myself. And then it was his turn. And he tore me to pieces. Absolutely tore me to shreds. Spoke about my dress, spoke about how ridiculous I looked. He talked about the fact that my style of preaching was very robotic through lots of parts of the sermon. And I was dumb. I was like, oh my goodness, how do I take this? Because I have two options. I can go, well, as if I'm not going to listen to this guy. I can let pride take over me, or I could and say, who is he to tell me what to do? Or I could go, he sat and listened to me preach for 40 minutes. I'm not paying him for this. He went out of his way to listen to me preach for 40 minutes. And then he took time to take notes on what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, and critique me on that. The advice that he gave me helped me to become a much better preacher. In fact, a lot of the stuff that he has spoken into my life, I've applied over my life. In fact, the next time I preached, I got a message from him. The very next time, he said, you listened, you learned, you applied, well done. Amen. I didn't even ask him to listen to my next sermon. Now, this is a guy who's leading one of the biggest churches in Victoria, going out of his way to spend time investing into my life. And the reason I say that is because what I say today, you guys can take one of two ways. You get highly offended. I can't believe Ps Yohan said that stuff. I can't believe he's going to talk to us. I'm not saying it in a way that is offending you guys, I hope. Or you can say, Ps Yohan actually cares about the church holistically, and he cares about us individually, and he wants the best out of us as a team, as an individual, so that we're presenting the gospel from the stage in a way that people can interact with. So it's completely up to you guys how you respond to what I say. Cool? So I'm going to start first of all with stage presence. You ready for this, guys? On Sunday, every single person on stage, apart from Johnny, looked like they were in pain. Both services. And that is me being as nice as possible. No one had their head up, no one had their eyes open, no one smiled through the entire worship. No one. And I'm talking about instruments, I'm talking about singers, I'm talking about every single person on stage. We're doing this huge push to invite new people into the church. You either look like you're in pain or you're constipated. You decide whichever one you want to be.
Option 2.
Yeah, option 2. And I say this stuff in deep love for you guys, because if someone walks into the church and they see a group of people up on stage and they've never been into a church environment before, because that's what we're asking people to do. Over the next 5 weeks, we're inviting people who have never been into church environments before. Come to church. We want to learn some stuff. And they walk in and they see a group of people worshipping God in pain. I don't want to worship this guy. This looks like agony up there. That has to shift. If you guys aren't enjoying yourselves up there, how do you expect the congregation to enjoy themselves up there? And the reason I say this is because when you get up there, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like what I'm about to say, I don't care about your worship. I care about your leadership. I care about how you motivate people to worship. Your worship cannot be the best on a Sunday morning on a stage. If it is, then I'm going to have a sit-down chat with Johnny and you, and we're going to talk about a pathway to get your worship right. My worship is not the best on Sundays. And it can't be, because my mind's in 1,000 places. I get there on Sunday, oh, the sound guy's done this wrong. Oh, is that done? Is this guitar plugged in? Is that done? Oh, has my sermon set up? Is the sound tested? Oh, my head is in a million places. So my capacity to worship on a Sunday is probably around 10%. Me getting on my knees on Sunday is just me trying my best to surrender to God. That's it. My best worship is in the car. My best worship is in that theatre room by myself, with no one else around. If your best worship is on a stage on Sunday, there is a problem. It cannot be. Because when you get on that stage, your role isn't to worship God. Your role is to lead others to worship God. And that means you've got to smile like you're enjoying yourself. That means you've got to look at people like you're connecting with them. Just imagine me getting up on a Sunday to preach. I get up on a Sunday. I believe that Jesus says, let's read the gospel together, guys. John chapter 3, verse 16 says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only son." Just imagine me doing that. Because your role on that stage is exactly the same as my role as a preacher, to minister to the congregation. And if you're looking at it in a different way, you're looking at it the wrong way. Your role is to minister to the congregation. Your role is to connect with them, to engage with them, to make them feel like they're going to have fun because you're having fun. So if you're upset on stage, they're going to feel that emotion and that pain as well. And if you're not happy on stage, or if you're sitting on your instrument and you're playing your guitar like this, well, how can you expect anyone else to go, you know what, I want to play the guitar like that guy. That guy knows how to play the guitar in worship. And once again, I don't say this stuff to attack anyone. I say this so that you can see that there is a better way to do it that will really bring out the best in the congregation. So, you have one of two options. You can take what I say offensively, or you can say, Pastor Yohan wants to get the best out of me. Smile on stage. I'll give you a perfect example. Can you play I Believe? Pretend this is my microphone. And I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to give you a demonstration about worship leading or being stage present when you're singing a song. See, my eyes are open. I'm looking at the congregation. I'm connecting with you guys. I've got a smile on my face. My body is moving. I'm enjoying every single part of what's about to happen. What's the first words? One salvation, one doorway that leads to life. One redemption, one confession. I believe in the name of Jesus Christ. Yeah! I believe in crucifixion. By his blood I have been set free. I believe in resurrection. Hallelujah, his life is death's defeat. Here we go. All praise to God. Oh, I'm saying the wrong key. Do you guys get what I mean? Like, that tells the congregation that I'm enjoying what I'm doing, so you're going to enjoy what you're doing. Now, you might think, oh, that sounds a little rehearsed. That sounds a little bit, oh, what's the word? Like you've put it on. Staged. A little bit performance-wise. Pick a song. Hillsong, Bethel, Elevation Worship. Pick a song for me. Someone, pick a song. You guys aren't picking a song. One from the mainstream. Say, how great is that guy? Chris Tomlin. Pick a song.
I Thank God.
I Thank God. Perfect. Let me show you something. If this works. It's not working. There it is. Hey. Someone open the door. This guy's about to leave. I don't know if the volume's going to be any good, but let's see how we go. Okay, you guys can see that?
Architecture, food, or
It's meant to be up on the bigger screen, but for some reason it doesn't work. See what everyone else is doing, not just the singer. Can you guys see that? Sorry.
See how it plays with their eyes and
Look at these eyes are open. All these eyes are open now.
guys in the background.
Okay, now I want to ask you guys a question. How many times do you think, well, first of all, can you connect with that? Yeah? Everyone here can connect with that? I know that when I have my private time of worship, that's the stuff I listen to. I'll put that on the screen, I'll connect with it. How many times do you think they did that before they finished that recording?
A lot.
I reckon they would have been there for about 6 hours recording that. How many practice sessions did they have? That means they had to put on that energy for 6 hours. Which means they were preparing, they were getting ready. Hillsong Live. Everyone's seen the DVDs and the stuff from Hillsong Live? They literally tell the crowd, hey guys, we're going to have to reshoot that. We need you guys to cheer up right at the start of it. That's how they do it. But you can connect with it because there is an element of performance there that you can enjoy. And I know people hate hearing this, and I'm going to say it. Most worship leaders hate this with a passion. Most people who are involved in the worship team hate this with a passion. Worship from the stage is 60% performance, 40% worship. Why do I say that? Because if you guys are just worshiping, you'll lose the entire congregation. I remember there was this young guy, loved worshiping. He was worship leading one day, and he was so lost in worship. He was worship leading, he was so lost. He was playing the guitar and he's worship leading. The pastor was standing there for about 2 minutes ready to preach. The congregation was sitting down. The entire worship team had almost walked up the stage and he was sitting there worshiping. Because his eyes were like this. No connection with the congregation. No looking at what's happening. No connection whatsoever. As a pastor, when I preach, I'm looking at people all the time, looking at their responses, seeing if I need to change the flavor of the sermon, seeing if people are engaging or if they're not. You guys need to do the same thing. Not just the worship leader, the entire team. Smile. Like you're having fun. Please smile. You all have beautiful smiles. Trust me, you have very beautiful smiles. Smile when you're playing the guitar, smile. When you're playing the drums, smile. When you're playing the bass, when you're playing instruments, smile. Have fun up there. Move around. If you want to shake your body a little bit, if you don't know how to do it and play an instrument, learn. Practice. Go into the corner and practice. All of that stuff. If you don't know how to dance and sing, practice dancing and singing. It took me a while. It took me a little bit of fitness workout to get my body into the ability where I could physically dance and sing into a microphone as well. If you don't know how to do it, practice. Do that stuff at home. Practice, practice, practice. Because what we'll do if we can do this as a team is we'll connect with the congregation. And worship will go to the next level. Because it's no longer just your worship, but it's you're engaging others to worship as well. Does that make sense? Yeah? Cool. That's the first point. Now for you worship leaders. I want to show you something. Every human being is made up of 3 base temperaments. We've heard the phlegmatic, melancholy, all that stuff. Some of us have heard it. But I'm going to break it down into even a more simplistic version. Every human being is made up of 3 base temperaments. One is the thinker. Oh, I'm terrible at spelling. One is the doer.
One is a speller.
And one is a speller. And one is a feeler. Now this one goes out to all you worship leaders. Johnny, because I know him so well and I've studied temperaments, is a thinker and a doer combination. In other words, Johnny's a natural born leader and then worships out of his leadership skills. Does that make sense?
Thank you, son. I told you.
So Johnny is naturally here and then leads in worship out of that temperament. Now, I'm the same. I'm actually a thinker, feeler, doer, a multifaceted cross-blend, what they call a pure blend multifaceted. Which makes it easy for me to worship lead because I have a connection with all 3 temperaments. Now here's the challenge. Most worship leaders and most people in this team are feelers. That's why you join the team. That's why you all find it very, very easy to worship. That's why you can go into a room and the music starts and you're already worshiping. You don't have to get into worship because your temperament naturally leans towards your feelings and your emotions, which draws you into worship. Now here's the challenge. If you worship lead out of that temperament, you've missed 2/3 of the congregation. If you only worship lead out of your base temperament, for you worship leaders, this is really important, then you only lead to 1/3 of the congregation. So how do you change that? Well, to the thinker, you need to give a revelation. Pick a song, any song that you guys do. Wow, you guys suck at this picking songs thing.
Holy forever.
Holy Forever. Holy Forever. How do I get a thinker to engage with Holy Forever? In the book of Isaiah, the angels are crying out, holy, holy, holy. And they're not shouting out holy 3 times, but they're shouting out holy so loud that the author writes it 1 time. He writes it 3 times, and the building is shaken and it's filled with smoke because of the power of the angels screaming, holy. Church, why don't we, as we sing this, scream, shout it out at the top of our lungs. Let's shout out holy because our God is holy. What have I done? I've got the thinkers, I've given them something to think about that helps them into worship. But I've also given the doers a task. Why don't we sing as loud as we can? Feelers, I don't worry about. They're there. But unless you get the thinkers going and you give the doers a task, church, let's lift up our hands. There's the doers. Oh, I've got something to do. You're engaging with all 3 temperaments. If you don't engage with all 3 temperaments, most worship sessions end up being all about the feelers, and you look around the congregations and the doers and the thinkers are standing there like this. Johnny, because he works out of these 2 temperaments, well, he gets them every time. He naturally leads them. And the feelers, like I said, you don't have to do anything about because they're already there. But these 2 temperaments, and this is the hardest part for you feelers, which is 90% worship leaders, you're trying to connect with these guys. So this is where the preparation needs to take place. The preparation, what do I need to say? When do I need to say it? How do I need to say it? What engages and connects with people? I worship led for the men's conference. Before I started, I premeditated and almost scripted what I was about to say. Before we started. So in my private time as I'm going through the songs, I'm going through what do I need to say to connect with them here. Through the fast songs, through the slow songs. It doesn't mean you talk for 20 minutes or an hour. It means you connect all 3 temperaments into worship. Because if you don't, then you're going to leave half of the congregation or 2/3 of the congregation all by themselves, not connecting or not engaging. Church, why don't we dance? Someone like Artura. He's a doer. He's a strong doer. Church, why don't we get up and dance? He's the one that runs around the church every now and again. He did it once or twice when we did running, I think. I think you did running and Artura started running around the church. It was the best. You gave him a task to do. But people respond out of their temperaments. And if you don't engage the temperaments, you won't get a response. Like I said, for Johnny, it's natural. He will do the thinker, he will do the feeler, he will connect with all of them because of his temperament fits in that category. Most of you worship leaders do not, so it's a lot more work for you guys. So you need to prepare. You need to do your preparation, do your homework, look at the songs that you're doing. How can I engage a thinker with this song? How can I engage a doer with this song? Does that make sense? That's really important. Eye contact as worship leaders is super critical. Super critical. And the last thing I want to talk to you worship leaders about is your preparation. Your preparation and knowing the songs that you're doing them. If you don't know the songs, don't do them. I used to worship lead a lot, and I was worship leading for about 10 years. I also had the great privilege of being the worship director at our church. I never picked a song I didn't know. If I didn't know it, I wouldn't do it. Unless the pastor asked me. But if you asked me on the day, I was in big trouble. But if you asked me a week early, I would spend time learning that song like it was the back of my hand. And here's the thing. If you're worship leading, you're worship leading once every 4 to 6 weeks. Is that about right?
Yeah, sort of. Not since the 2 services. Now it's like 3 weeks, every 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, so every 3 weeks. Guess what? No one in the congregation will remember the songs that you did 3 weeks ago. So if you want to do the same songs again because you're comfortable with them, that's fine. So on Saturday, Paul, what songs did we do?
I believe.
Yeah, because I know it like the back of my hand, left to right. I've been practicing this song I fell in love with this song. It's a theme song for the Y series. What other song do we do?
Savior King.
My favourite song of all time. Savior King. I actually played the guitar for that song. Why? Because I know it so well. The Stand, because I know it. Holy Forever, because I know it. So I am not going to pick songs I don't know. And not that I just don't know, but I don't know really well. So if you're doing the same songs every 3 weeks, I'm okay with that as the pastor. I'm completely comfortable with you worship leaders doing the same songs every 3 weeks. If that's what you know. Because if you know the song really well, then giving the signals for where you're going with the song is not hard to do. And I'm going to say this because this is one of my... That's what I'm saying, right? This is one of the things that I really encourage you worship leaders that don't play an instrument. You've got to get your signals up early. And I'm saying this because I watch you guys week in, week out, and then I watch your musos absolutely lost because they have no idea where the song's going because the signals come out half a beat before you go to the next part of the song. Trust me when I say you guys are incredible, but you're not at the stage where you can vocally lead songs. Johnny can. Johnny can vocally lead a song and the team knows where he's going just by his voice. You guys are developing into great worship leaders. At the moment, you need to give signals. Really big signals. Don't try and hide them discreetly so no one sees them. Ask Paul. I was running to the back of the stage on Saturday so that the drummer and the keyboard knew where I was going. Chorus, bridge. What's that?
My eyes are closed.
No, his eyes were closed most of the time. Yeah, that's why I'm saying this to the whole team, because I watched the video back and...
No, the prompt is so bad. Like, he's got one job, he's not doing it properly.
the lyrics are all over the place, so that was a challenge. But this is like, put your signals up there so that your team knows where you're going early.
How early? Because I
As early as you can.
Right? I'm like,
If it's
do
at
I
the start,
doing it?
if it's at the start of the verse, so be it. Because once you signal it, they'll see and they'll nod. But if you just signal it down here, and then your drummers and your guitarists put it up here so they can see it. If the congregation is worshipping, they're not got their eyes on you. And they don't care if you do this, or if you do this, or if you do this. It doesn't really matter. That doesn't change the game. Signal early so your team knows where you're going. And when your team knows where you're going, they'll follow you. You ever tried to follow someone who doesn't know where they're going? It's chaos. It's exactly right. It's exactly what it is. Chaos. It's really hard to do. If you try and follow someone who doesn't know where they're going, it's confusing. So if you guys, as worship leaders, put your signals up really early, your team will go, that was much easier. Where's all the musos and the instrument players? Is what I'm saying okay? Yeah? I see their frustrations. I see their eyes. I see their eyes roll to the back of their head, as they're doing it. And it's not because they don't respect you guys. It's not because they don't love you guys. It's because they want to follow you guys, but they don't know where you're going. And once again, I say all of this in love because I care about you guys and I care about what you guys have got over your lives and the potential and the giftings over your lives. So nothing is designed to attack, but to champion. And I hope and pray you guys hear it that way as well. So they're the 3 things that I want you guys to take on board. Smile and be happy on stage. Connect with the congregation with your eyes, with your attitude, with your personality. The second one is, if you're a worship leader, understand your temperaments. Understand how to connect with the congregation with those temperaments. And if you don't know, practice. Pick songs you know like the back of your hand, back to front, inside out. And if you don't know a song or a new song's been done, practice it. And if you're not comfortable with it, apart from if the pastor asks you to do it, don't do it. Do it when you are comfortable with it. Because if you do it and you're not comfortable with it, you'll most likely butcher it, and then we'll never do that song again at church. Okay, and I've been at churches where songs have been butchered, and we're not doing that song ever again. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions? Sinner, do you have any questions? Sinner left ages ago. I'm joking. Do you have any questions, Sinner? No? Elvis had a question?
Just hand signals, man.
Yep. Okay. Do we all know what the hand signals are?
I think.
Ah, this is wonderful. Do the musos know what the hand signals are? Johnny, do you know what the hand signals are? Well, you don't really hand signal, do you?
No. But it's simple enough, yeah? Chorus, bridge, instrumental. First verse, second verse, third verse.
Tagline, so if there's a tagline, especially when you're finishing a song, it's just like you're squeezing your hand together. So it's very similar to bridge, but it's your...
Yeah, not that one. Not that one.
Yeah? It's a tagline. So like, holy forever.
You have to use that as a tagline.
So that's tagline. Repeat the last line. You guys know that? So that's tagline. Yes? So that one there where you squeeze your fingers together like a duck. That used to be bridge. That's our old church. That was bridge. But that just looks a little like So that's bridge. Bridge is like a. Okay. Hey, ready for this, guys? Chorus is a C. Bridge is like that. Cool. Tagline is like that. Put your fingers together. That's tagline, last line or repeat line. Verse 1, verse 2, verse 3. Instrumental or free worship. Yeah?
Where we can see it too, yeah?
Yeah, up here. Or back here. Like nice and high so the whole team can see it. Really, really critical. Quiet down, just literally. And instruments, please, keep your eyes on the pastor when he gets up. If the preacher gets up there, you watch his hands like a hawk. Please. If I'm signaling up and you guys start getting quieter, that's not what we're trying to achieve here. So you musos, especially the drummers, who none of them are here today, which is perfect, you need to... Levi. So if you see me doing this, that means get louder. Because especially the drums, and the reason I say especially the drums is everyone follows the tempo and the velocity of the drums. Okay? And singers as well. Here's one more thing I wanted you guys to work on. Free worship. This is 99% of the time where everyone does this. And goes into absolute silence. That is not the time you go into silence. Johnny, can you do a bit of free worship for me? I'm a backup singer. Oh no, you're singing. So you're worship leading, Johnny's going to lead us in free worship. And I'm a backup singer.
We worship you, Lord. Sweet glory and love it all. You're worthy. You are worthy of it all. You're worthy. You are worthy. Hallelujah. Lift your name on high. We glorify your name.
Awesome, thank you, Johnny. So I'm singing what he's singing at 30%. Johnny's singing at 100%, I'm singing at 30%. Does that make sense? So I'm not overpowering him and I'm not contradicting him. I'm supporting my song leader by singing what he's singing or emphasizing what he's singing, but I'm singing it a lot quieter. So there's still noise coming out of my mouth. It's not quiet. It doesn't look like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm completely lost. Where do I go? Is there a hole that I can hide in? I'm complimenting the worship leader. Does that make sense? That's what you do through free worship as well. And instruments play. Look like you're worshiping God as well. Sway a little bit on the keys, bounce a little bit, especially through the fast songs. Have a bit of fun, have a bit of joy in your lives. Does that make sense? Yeah? Because if you can bring that excitement and that joy, then the congregation will follow you. And that's the role of being on stage. And I say this very emphatically. If your best worship is on stage on a Sunday, we need to have a chat. Your best worship should not be on a stage on a Sunday. You should know that your role on the stage on a Sunday is to lead the congregation into worship. It's not about you. It's not about your worship. It's not about how you feel. It's simply about connecting the congregation into the throne room. Does that make sense? Thank you for listening to me. Now Johnny can say the opposite to everything I said. Now, look, the spiritual side of your journey, I have no issues with, and that's why I'm not here to talk about it. I trust where Johnny has taken this team spiritually, 100%. My gifting is stage stuff. It's from the front. It's connecting with people. It's temperaments. This is where I spend a lot of my time studying. When I preach, I color code my sermons to match temperaments. So that when I preach, I'm preaching to the thinker, the feeler, and the doer. Through every part of my sermon. And if I go through my sermon notes at the end of it and I find there's too much of one color, then I'm like, okay, this isn't connecting with the other temperaments. I need to adjust my sermon. So for the feeler, I'll tell a personal story. For the doer, I'll give a task. And for the thinker, I'll bring a revelation. And I try and do that in every part of my sermon. Because I understand that my role is to engage and connect with the entire congregation, not just the ones that I understand. Or not just me. Otherwise, I'll preach a sermon to a thinker that'll be like a really big teaching and everyone will be falling asleep. All your doers and your feelers will be falling asleep. In the same way, you need to connect with all three parts of the temperament when you worship leading as well. Anyone have any questions? Thank you. That was a great question. Do you have a question? Just talk then. No? Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for listening to me. I know I can talk a lot. You guys are the best and we really appreciate every single one of you. We appreciate the time and the effort you put into this. And I hope that you see my heart when I say what I say is to better you guys, to see you guys rise up into all that God has in store for your lives as leaders, as worshippers, and also for the church as well. Amen? Amen. Love you guys. I'll get rid of this stuff so you guys can play the piano and practice.
So there's just two things that I wanted to add on to what Pastor Yohan was saying. One about learning your stuff. This is a craft for you guys, yeah? It's a craft. So you need to be passionate about your craft. Because when you're passionate about your craft, you will learn it. You will learn it inside and out. The only reason why our singers find it hard to go one place or another is because our instruments aren't synced. And because we're rocking up on Sunday and we're practicing an hour before.